Hi, good day. My name is Ed Epperson, and we're having conversations about dying, and I want to bring Steve Jobs in. He said, remembering that I'll be dead soon is the most important tool I've ever encountered to help me make the big choices in life. Because almost everything, all external expectations, all pride, all fear of embarrassment or failure, these things just fall away in the face of death, leaving only what is truly important. Remembering that you, Ed, are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking that you have something to lose. You're already naked. There's no reason not to follow your heart. So I really like the idea that we can have the knowledge that our children are going to die, our grandchildren are going to die, and everybody on the planet's going to die. And it doesn't have to be a big deal.
I'm planning everything for when I die, and I'm telling Katie everything. I mean, it might not be for 10 years,
Yeah.
but I don't think so. I think it's going to be sooner.
The husband and the father of your children died, and a lot of other people have died since then. So you have a lot of evidence that you are going to die. And I think to be in denial about that is stupid.
Well, the secret is to try and enjoy your life while you have it, and your friends, and not be afraid. I'm not actually too afraid, unless it turns out to be terminally terminal.
I love the idea that when I learned to speak, they told me that there was a past and a present and a future. And what I found out in my life is there is no past or future really. There's just now. So I saw a watch one time that said now, where all the numbers would be. And I really like that idea. Someone asked Yogi Berra what time it was. He said, "You mean now?"
You had asked me to talk about when I first met Ed, and I really can't remember that. We were in a Parkinson's group together, Parkinson boxing group, and I don't remember the first time. You go in a room and there's a lot of people you don't know.
Right.
But one thing I've noticed about Ed, with other new people that are in the group, he always makes an effort when a new person is there to introduce himself and find out about them. And I suspect that's when it happened. And why we paired up, I'm not really sure why, other than Ed talks about things that I enjoy talking about, and I don't have a lot of male friends, and I consider him to be a good male friend, and he's able to talk about things that guys usually don't talk about. He doesn't have to talk about the sports.
And I introduced you to Olivia,
Huh?
and she called last night, and she's having a lot of fun. She's living in New York now. So it's fun to share Olivia with you.
Uh-huh. Always has interesting things to say, interesting things to make me ponder. And the thing that most comes to mind, I think about people that make me smile. And when I think of it, I smile. When the phone rings, it's him. I see it, I smile. I don't grimace like you do when some people answer. And why that is, I'm not really sure. I just think it's a joy in knowing somebody that that doesn't approach you with judgment. And I love that he's preaching all the time about some philosophy that he has, but he doesn't really expect you to be converted. It's just the constant message that he feels a need to talk about, and I think that's very admirable, that he's passionate about what he believes and feels good enough about it to want to share it with other people. And but it's rare when you find someone like that they won't judge you if you don't go along with what they're thinking, and I find that particularly refreshing.
And I love the book Tuesdays with Maury. So I'm calling this Sundays with Fast Eddie.
Oh, that's swell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not doing well in relation to the Olympic Games. I'm not going to run the 100-meter dash at the Olympic Games. But I'm doing well as far as able to get up and walk across the room. You know, I'm not paralyzed, but I'm also off balance, and I'm not really a good dancer anymore. You knew me when I was a really good athlete.
Say it again?
You knew me when I was a good athlete.
Right.
I was in the top 20 tennis players
I
in
too
Texas.
am getting old,
Are you?
and I'm observing all the changes.
Uh-huh.
One of the changes is I forgot to put my hearing aids on. Not that they do very much, so that's why I'm pulling my chair closer and
Oh, good.
closer.
Good.
Oh, Ed, you were my first good friend here in Austin. And you also took the time to introduce me to a lot of the things that Austin has to offer. And I always appreciated that. You also think of me as your student. But I think of you as one of my lovely friends.
Yeah. Well, for me, a student isn't in a hierarchy. I think we're all students and we're all teachers. I think Jesus said something about learning from the little children, so I have everybody be my teacher as much as I can. Most every woman I've ever met is my teacher.
So it was lots of fun, and I always enjoyed Ed's different outlook on life and the way you observed. It was a little bit more. I always think of you as a thinking man.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you are very special to me, and so I was very happy about meeting you all the time. Now we don't meet each other so much, so that's why it's pretty good that we have this opportunity.
Yeah.
Do you go to Rock Steady or whatever?
They changed the name of it, but Charles and I both boxed together. And Mary's the one that called me one day and said, hey, they're boxing in relation to Parkinson's.
Oh, Ed, you're so sweet.
Thank
I
you.
wanted to have something like you.
Thank you, Mary.
You're welcome, Ed.